Hello and welcome to the Improved Garage YouTube channel. It's another week, which means that there's another unboxing. So it's Friday. I have two packages that I ordered last weekend that both arrived today. So one is from Obsessed Garage and the other is actually from Chemical Guys. This is the first video that I'm going to be recording using the new camera, the Osmo Action, the DJI Osmo Action with the Samson microphone. So we'll see how the audio sounds and how the video sounds, and if it sounds like crap, you may never see this. I'm going to turn on the lights here just so everything's a little easier to see. So let's get started. So I have a box from Obsessed Garage and I have a box from Chemical Guys. And I suppose I'll open the Chemical Guys one first. And there was really one thing that I wanted from Chemical Guys. They released these new wash buckets, and I have two Chemical Guys wash buckets. They're like 4.5 gallon buckets. I think that they're a good size. And they released a clear one, and then they released a smoke clear one. And I really just wanted the smoke clear bucket, which is like $8. And then I added a grit guard and a lid. So it's like 20 bucks. And then it's one of those things where it's like $8 to ship to you unless you break 50 bucks. So I ended up just spending 50 bucks. So I added a couple other things to my cart. So first of all, packaging. So I've got two bottles with no wrapping at all. I've got some mostly deflated airbags like Amazon uses, and no padding in the box or anything like that at all. So let's take everything out of the box. There's no padding to remove. So let's, well, there's a little bit of padding to remove, but I don't really know what this is supposed to do. I mean, if we've got like 3 bottles in here shaking around, what's that going to do? They're not even wrapped up. I don't know. And I would say like probably 30% of the time I order something from Chemical Guys, I get either one of the caps is busted or the bottle's busted or it's leaking somewhere, and this is why. So here's the bucket, which is what I really wanted. It's the smoke clear bucket. I did, like I said, order a grit guard for it. So we can put the grit guard in here and see how it looks. Which I think the bucket is actually pretty nice. Like I said, I've always liked this size of bucket. They're not too big, they're not too small. They're good for washing, 2 cars. Work out well. So additionally, I ordered this mitt called the Stranger, which is supposed to be a helpful, handy mitt. So I think that it's going to be something like the mitt that Matt sells, this guy, which is the soft merino lamb's wool finger mitt. So this is supposed to be something that you use to wash your car. My thought is to use it for the wheels because it's something that I can like shove my hand into and just kind of go at it. It's supposed to be double-sided. Not quite sure what the difference is between the gray and the yellow. Maybe there isn't a difference, but yeah, it doesn't really say anything about having like one side being softer than the other. They feel like they're the same pile, the same amount of padding. So really I think it's just 2 sides like most mitts. You can see the fuzz coming off of it. It's brand new. So it looks like I'm probably gonna have to wash this before I use it. But yeah, it seems pretty cool. So we'll get a chance to try this out. Maybe I'll try it tomorrow and then wash it when I'm done. Because it is Friday night and I already washed my rags for the week. So I'll get to try that out. I'll try this out. I haven't had the opportunity to try the lamb's wool mitt. So additionally, what did I get? I got polishing pad cleaner. So this is a product from Chemical Guys that I actually really like. It's designed for cleaning your foam polishing pads. So it's a citrus-based spray. I keep a bottle next to my kitchen sink. So when I'm done washing my cars or polishing my cars, I take this and I spray the pads, and then I just rinse them out, and I spray the pads and I rinse them out. I just kind of work it with my hands, and this stuff works really, really well. I go through a fair amount of it, you know, probably a bottle probably lasts me, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. But I've been using the polishing pads a lot lately because of the Mazda and the Scion and some other projects that I've been working on. So I would say somebody normal, it would probably last them a year if they're just polishing their own car when it needs it. The next thing that I ordered is this headlight restorer. It's supposed to be a specific headlight restorer from Chemical Guys. I normally just use a polish for it, but it was like $6 or $7 or something along those lines, and I thought, I'll try it out. So their recommendation is, well, this is supposed to restore UV damaged headlights. I'm not sure how it, like if it has some sort of UV coating, cleans, polishes, and protects plastic lenses against future damage from UV sunlight that caused the plastic to fade in the first place. Durable sealant acts like sunscreen to protect clear plastic parts and helps prevent future oxidation from fading from harmful UVA and UVB rays. Yeah, so looks like that's what it's supposed to be used for. Works by hand with a microfiber towel or with a machine polisher for professional level results. Choose Chemical Guys Headlight Restore to clean up any faded and yellowed headlight plastic. So the Mazda's headlights are pretty wrecked. I thought I would just try that on them and see how it works. I did also order this, which is it's called a flex pad, but it's basically, it's supposed to be a sanding block. That's the equivalent of like a 2500 grit paper, and it's designed specifically for the headlight restore. So I figured we'll try that out too. It was only a couple bucks. Yeah, so that's really it. I like the bucket a lot. I've always liked their buckets. I think that they work well. They're a good size. I don't really care for their dolly because the dolly, I've talked about it before, it kind of deforms as you tighten down those nuts on the side of it. I wish that it had 5 instead of 3. But you know, these work really well. They make 2 different grit guards. They have these Cyclone grit guards and the regular grit guards. I like the Cyclone ones better. They've got like this cone shape at the bottom, and they stand up off the bottom of the bucket by a little bit. And what that means is when your dirt drops down below here, because you're raising and lowering your mitt, it creates like suction and sucks the water up from the sides. So what it does is it makes all of the dirt go down here, and then the dirt doesn't really come up over the sides. They work pretty well. I end up with a black ring around the bottom, and the top is all nice and clear water. So they're designed well, they work well. I do like the Chemical Guys buckets. So we'll put this stuff in here, set that off to the side. I do have another ProLock here. I'm going to send that to my dad next time I send him some stuff. I regularly give him things that I've tried out. Maybe I didn't care for them. Maybe I found something better. I just let him try a couple of the different things. But he doesn't really use the stuff as often as I do. So let's see what I got from Obsessed Garage. So more packaging right on top than the Chemical Guys order had in its entirety. I ordered a couple packs of rags. So these are the polish removal towels. These are the medium towels. So they're like the drying aid towel. So this would be like for a bead maker. This is their polish removal towel. It's a high pile, no edge towel. These towels work really well. Specifically these ones, they absorb a lot more than you would expect them to. They do a really good job, and you know, here's the difference there. Like I'm shaking this brand new towel around, and they say on this website, wash them before you use them, and I'm sure Chemical Guys does too. Like they both say it, but like these, I've never had lint left behind because I didn't wash one of these when I got it, and that, you know, that's all of them. So yeah, a little bit came off of that one, but it wasn't the snowstorm that the other one created. I'm not trying to bash Chemical Guys. They have some products that I like, and I think that they're right for some people. So stick that, actually, just put these in there. Just put everything in the bucket, and I can put that away later. All right, next. I ordered another press-all spray bottle. I think I actually ordered, no, I just did one. Yeah, like I said, I've just been getting 1 or 2 of these on every order just to try to slowly convert to them. I think that they're great bottles. They spray really well. They're well put together. I have the labels. I've been, you know, get one, I add a label to it, I fill it up with product and go through. I'm not sure what I'll use this one for. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look and figure out what I want to do next. Probably bead maker or something like that I'll put in there. Let's see what else. I got a Obsessed Garage shirt, the nut shirt. This is their hex logo shirt. You know, I like the shirts. I think they fit really well. They're American Apparel. I like the cut. They're really nice. They're comfortable to wear all day. They're long, so it's not like I'm not really tall, but like a normal large shirt ends up like riding up on me all day, like a normal Hanes or Gildan or something like that. This is a Gildan that I'm wearing here, so I guess this one isn't too bad. But these shirts wear really well, and I don't know. They look good on you. They fit you well. I'm not crazy about the designs that they have right now. There's 2 or 3 of them that I like out of the 7 or 8 that they have. But some of the historic ones I really did like. And they're just, you know, they don't have them available right now because they change the styles all the time. So talk about that next. I got another 3-inch pad, another 5-inch pad. Again, just trying to stock up on those. I also got some 3-inch cutting discs and some 5-inch cutting discs. My goal is to finish the Mazda tomorrow, finish polishing. So the only reason that I haven't finished it and the other days that I was working on it is because I get to the point where I run out of pads and then I go wash the pads in the sink and then the pads are wet and then they take a day or 2 to dry. And, you know, it just, blowing them out doesn't really do enough when you're doing that much correction on a car. So at this point I've got enough pads to get through the 2/3 of the car that I have left. I really have to just do the front hood, the front bumper, the rear bumper, but I did the deck lid and the roof. And then I have to do the passenger side. So the rear quarter panel, the rear door, the front door, and the front fender. So, you know, I have whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, let's say 6 panels left, 7 panels left. So I should get through that tomorrow, hopefully. That's one of the things that I want to get done. So we'll put this in there, put this away. These can go in there. These in there. So then this. So this is the Obsessed Garage extension cord. So this is a ProLock extension cord. It's very similar to the plug that I got for my reel. It's made by the same, well, ProLock makes the plug. This plug is a ProLock plug. This one might be a ProLock plug too. I don't really know who manufactures this one, but there's a company online, I think it's like Badass Extension Cords or something like that, that makes extension cords that you can brand. So I think that's where Obsessed Garage is getting these from. It might be, I don't know, it might be somewhere else. There's another company, Mil-Spec Industries or something like that, that makes them too. This is a 50-foot 12-gauge extension cord. It's got 12.3. You know, it's got a power light for power on. It's got the light, I'm sure, inside the plug to show you the power's on there, and it's got the locking end. So 50-foot cord, 12-gauge, which means it'll run easily 15 amps. You could probably go a little bit over that, but most of the places where I'd be plugging this in or using it are going to be 15 amp anyway. So I just wanted a nicer cord. I've got a 100-footer that I like. It's just a standard orange cord, and that's held up well for me, but it's a little long, it's a little heavy for most situations, and I've got a couple 12-foot cords, or 25-foot cords that are, I think they're 14 gauge, and they're cheap, you know, they're $15, $20 cords, and they're just not great. So I wanted to buy a nice one, have a nice one, you know, something to use for the shop vac or different things like that. You know, when I'm like working in the yard or I need to plug something in that draws some current, I won't have to worry. You know, this should handle more current than a standard 15 amp breaker in my panel that's running my GFIs that are outside. they always come with all these stupid tags. I don't really care for the tags. Extension cord set, 15 amp, 125 volt, 1875 watt. Suitable for use with outdoor appliances or indoors when not in use. So this is a 15 amp extension cord. That's what it's rated for. And that makes sense. It's got the 15 amp standard plugs on it. So if you're not aware, there's a classification, NEMA, that creates different plugs, and different plugs specify different amounts of current carrying capacity. So different devices will have different style plugs depending on what their current rating is. So the ones like this that you see everywhere where there's the 2 vertical and the 1 hole in the bottom, that's a standard. It's a 15 amp, 120 volt plug. When you get to a plug that has the, this side has like a right angle on it, it's either shaped like a T or it's just a flat blade this way and a vertical this way, then that's a 20 amp plug. And then there's also, you know, a 30 amp, it's a twist lock usually. And there's 220 volt plugs that are slightly different. Usually those have both blades flat or they're twist lock as well. And the idea is that the receptacles, like a 20 amp receptacle, you can plug a 15 amp plug into, but you can't plug a 20 amp plug into a 15 amp receptacle. So they try to make them backwards compatible, meaning you can use smaller devices with them, and they work just fine. But yeah, this seems really nice. It's got a nice flexible jacket. We can plug it in here and see it light up. So there's the light up plug. And then you can see that the back side lights up as well, which is nice. Just to show you that it's powered on and everything is good and all that kind of stuff. It's helpful when you're outside and you know, want to see if it's powered up or you're trying to find it in the dark or, you know, something along those lines. So, yeah, so it's a nice cord. I'm really happy with the ProLock plug that I put on my cord reel that overhangs. Obsessed Garage actually sells cord reels with this cord in it, which it'd be really nice to have, but it's just a lot of money. You know, my cord reel was 40 or 50 bucks or something like that. It wasn't that expensive, the Husky cord reel that I have, and I added the ProLock plug to it. That was like another, let's say it was 20. I want to say it was like $12 or $13 for the actual plug, but there was expensive shipping. I ordered 2 of them, so I think it was like $42 for a pair. So say it's like 20, 21 bucks a piece. So, you know, the cord reel with this cord and the plugs on it is a couple $100s, and it's a nicer cord reel to Cox. So, you know, if my cord reel fails, I'll probably buy one at some point, but I don't see the need to replace mine, which works perfectly well, with a new one. I just don't think it's a significant enough. It's a significant upgrade, but I'm not really running things that have a high enough current carrying capacity, or I don't use the cord reel often enough that I really care about it that much. If the retractor fails in it, which is what will eventually break, the spring will stop working, then I'll buy a better one. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for everything today. We can go through here and you can see kind of what a finished bottle looks like. So here's a glass cleaner bottle. The glass cleaner that's in here is Chemical Guys, the Signature Series glass cleaner, which I actually like quite a bit. I haven't tried Obsessed Garage uses Stoner Invisible Glass, which I have used in the past, and it is good stuff. So, you know, maybe at some point I'll switch to that, probably only because I can buy it by the gallon. I can get, you know, like a gallon of it and fill up my bottles here rather than having to buy the 8-ounce bottles of the Signature Glass cleaner. So what do I have left? I can do paint sealant. I can do waterless wash. I can do clay lube. I can do interior cleaner. I can do tire cleaner. I can do iron remover. I can do surface prep. I can do tar remover. I can do drying aid, rinseless wash, wheel cleaner, rust inhibitor. So these ones have decent sprayers already, the rust inhibitor, the wheel cleaner, and the drying aid. Those are all the P&S products. The other ones, clay lube I don't use very often. That's a Chemical Guys product. That makes sense to move over later. Iron remover, that's a Chemical Guys product, so I'll probably move that over. It is pretty aggressive though. I might ruin the sprayer. It'd be interesting to try. I do have a tar remover, and I have an interior cleaner, so I could move those too. All right. We'll move over. We'll do the interior cleaner, I guess. All right, so that's what we're going to be moving over. We'll grab this bottle here. So when you're putting the labels on the bottles, you want a couple of things. You want some alcohol. Luckily, because of COVID, everyone's got alcohol available. So this is it's technically an Automagic hand sanitizer, but it's 80% alcohol. It works really well. So just kind of spray our bottle here. We'll just wipe it down. Just want to make sure that there's no residue on it. You know, it's sitting on the shelf at OG with other chemicals. You know, people might have oil on their hands when they're picking them. It's in a box with a bunch of other products that might have something on the wrappers, and then, you know, it gets here and I take them out with my hands, which are also oily. On these bottles, there are two flat sides. This one says Press-All on it. This one does not. So the one that does not say Press-All is where you want to put the logo. I've done a couple of these and I'm still not great at it. So we'll use this interior cleaner label. So what I like to do is kind of peel the top half of this, get it where I want it, which is up high, and there's like a seam here on the bottle. So I want to kind of be like right next to that seam. And then I'll get it kind of in place where I want it. It looks like I need to go up a little higher. These are pretty forgiving, these labels. Once you get them on, they stick pretty well, but they are pretty forgiving at the beginning. So all right, so we're kind of right on the edge of the seam, just there, where the bottle is like cast. And then we'll just kind of roll this over by rubbing up and down it with our fingers. And there we go. So, open this up, got our label on there. Just kind of rub the edges nice and hard, make sure that they stick. Then, I've got these funnels. These are the Adams funnels that come from Obsessed Garage. They sell them at Adams, they sell them at a bunch of other places too. They work fairly well. So, we'll take this bottle. This was a little leaky inside the packaging. This stuff smells good. I haven't had the chance to use it yet. So at some point I'll use this to compare it with the Chemical Guys one. I have a couple different Chemical Guys interior cleaners, so I'm not sure which one I'll compare it against, but I think that they're all pretty much the same product. I've used them all and haven't really found one that I love over the others. They all seem fine. So that, throw these away. So that's that. I really like these sprayers. I mean, I like more that I'd say my favorite part about the sprayers is the fact that they all match. I mean, I think that they have a good action. I think that they work well. I think that the ones that come from other companies work just fine. Like I don't know. I'm not crazy about the quality of a sprayer. I think that like if I squeeze the trigger and stuff comes out, I will say that I do have a lot of problems with the chemical guy sprayers getting blocked up, which, you know, reasonably you can have that problem with just about any sprayer. I don't know why, for whatever reason, like the tire, what is it? The red tire cleaner and the orange tire cleaner, it's like the sticky citrus and the red sticky tire cleaner. They both kind of clog up the heads all the time, so you have to like take a brush and clean them out or change the sprayers off on them. And I've broken a couple of their sprayers. I've had a couple of the sprayers just stop spraying, you know, but generally I have enough of the products that I have, you know, half a dozen empty bottles up here, and I can just kind of steal a sprayer from one of them if I need to. And I guess, you know, I shouldn't have to. If I'm spending the money on the products, they should come with a quality sprayer. So, yeah, so that's about it for today. This will be my first full video on the new camera setup. I'm interested to see how it is. I'll go in and edit it, try it out. And then tomorrow I'll be doing some work on the cars here and there, and try to finish polishing the Mazda. Still having the soft brake pedal on that, so I'm gonna beat on the ABS a little bit, try to get there seems to be a problem, a known problem with the ABS module or the ABS controller in the Mazda 3, where there's a valve that sticks open and it creates what feels like a mushy brake pedal. But then there are also people online that have problems where the ABS module just gets air in it and it needs to be purged because of a bad brake job or somebody not doing things the right way, or not bleeding brakes the right way, or something along those lines. So there's like 50% of people go out and they activate ABS a bunch of times on like a dirt road, and then they come back and they bleed the brakes, and then they do the same thing, and you know, after doing it 2 or 3 times everything's fine. And then other people need to buy an ABS module. Well, an ABS module for that car is like $200 for a used one on eBay that you don't really know if it's good or not. And a good one is, you know, $700 for a remanufactured or rebuilt one. And the problem is that in order to properly bleed them, you're supposed to use a Mazda specific OBD2 tool that actually activates like a bleeding sequence where it cycles all the valves and things that are inside the ABS controller. And realistically, if I had that, I would try it on the one that I have right now and see if it's a problem of bleeding or the actual valve being stuck. I don't know, maybe at some point it makes sense to purchase a tool like that, especially if I get one that works on multiple cars. I know there's an Autel one that is supposed to do it. But I don't know. I have one thing that I need the $500 tool for right now, and I don't know that I want to go buy the $500 tool just to do that one thing. You know, generally I have an OBD2 scan tool. It's this Innova that I've had for, I don't know, 15 years. And I had it when I worked at Sound Solutions. So yeah, probably about 15 years. And honestly, the thing works great. It's just for resetting codes though. It doesn't read ABS, it doesn't read SRS. It's just for resetting codes. Company I used to work for had a snap-on modus, so I used to borrow the modus from time to time for certain things, like if I was changing a thermostat on a car or something, it could actually activate the sensors and read the sensors, and you could make sure that the thermostat was engaging when it was supposed to, and things like that. I don't know. I don't get into enough of that, I don't think, to need it, but maybe I will in the future. I don't know what this YouTube channel is gonna turn into. The other thing I'm thinking through right now is my work offered me a Corolla, 2009 Toyota Corolla with 130,000 miles on it. It's got a parasitic drain electrical problem, but everything else is fine on it. So it's probably something that I could solve. It's probably, you know, a bad ground, a problem with the head unit, something somewhere. You can always trace those things down. So that might be a fun project car to mess around with. It's you know, Blue Book on it's about $3,500. It's not in the best condition, but it's all logoed. It's got our company logos and stuff all over it. So I would have to like remove all of that and clean it up, and you know, it requires some work. So I'm thinking about picking that up and doing it more as a project. You know, the Scion I picked up because it was cheap and fun, and you know, it's kind of something to mess around with. I didn't have a spare car at the time. Then I got the Mazda because I thought my boys might want to drive it. You know, but we've got a, like, they just don't have the interest that I thought they might have. So maybe that'll change in the next couple of months. But at this point, you know, there's 2 drivers in our house. We've got 4 cars. I don't know that I necessarily need another one, but I don't know. Maybe I'll sell the Scion and go buy this Corolla with the money, and then I can flip that, something along those lines. But all right, well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll get this video edited up and be working on the Mazda some more tomorrow.